Happy 4th of July, everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Justice League Season 1, the season finale episode, The Savage Time. So, this is a very unique and interesting episode, and it's a really good season finale. However, I was very surprised that the season ended the way it did. I really wasn't expecting time travel to be an element or World War II. And I have to say, this was one of the most fascinating and one of the best episodes of season one. Season one is really good, but some of the episodes just kind of like, I don't know. Mainly because, also the episodes, they were two-parters for the most part, but this was a three-part, just like the premiere episode. And so this episode is three-parters, and it's a total of about 66 minutes. They're about like 22 minutes each. And so this episode is very vivid in the atmosphere and the surroundings of that of World War II. On the battlefield, that is, and stuff. And so, like, when this episode aired, I had no idea who Vandal Savage was, who he was. I've never heard of that dude before. And it wouldn't have been until the second season until I knew his backstory and stuff. And now you see him featured all the time. He was in, what was that? It wasn't Legends. It was, I think, Arrow back in the day. And it had this huge crossover event where he basically killed everybody. It was like this huge crossover event where he killed everybody, and the Flash went back in time to reverse that. And I remember the Hawk people was there, and I remember Flash was there, and Green Arrow and stuff. This is before Supergirl came over, and he's been in Young Justice. He had his own animated movie where Justice League Doom, and so he's been featured like a lot lately and stuff. And he's voiced by Phil Lamar. A lot of famous people are in this. Patrick Duffy, he is Steve Trevor. Robert Picardo, who was the Doctor in Star Trek Voyager, he is Black Hawk and everything. And not only that, but they pulled from older comics like the Black Hawks, and I don't know who the military dudes are, but they're from the comics as well. And so this allowed them to bring in these older school versions of the comics into like their modern day medium and stuff. And this episode, three of the Justice League members get some really huge story arcs. Two of them get not as huge. They're like brief, but they're like more emotional. And Superman and Batman get nerfed. Plain and simple. Lord, they did Superman so wrong in this episode. This is back in season one, where Bruce Timm's motto was, okay, there's a big threat, and if it takes out Superman, then that means it's going to be like a really huge threat, and the Justice League have to work together to take it out. They did that in every episode in season one, to where people complain that they depowered Superman. And when you see him get taken out so much in this episode, it's ridiculous. He gets taken out at least 4 or 5 times. And stuff. Twice by the same object. Oh boy. So it's like Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, and Green Lantern. They get like huge story arcs in this. Whereas the Flash gets a minor, and well, him and Hawkgirl get like a more of an emotional minor role and stuff. And so it's the dude, I forget his name. I'm trying to think of it. He's somebody who storyboarded all this. I remember Bruce Timm said the dude went like he loves like old historical war type stuff, and he was just writing page after page after page and storyboarding, and it was so long they had to condense it into this hour. I think it was like an extra hour long and everything. Like he was just having a great old time, and the choreography or the well, they kind of say choreography, but like the action sequences are very well done and for animation and stuff. And they use a lot of these techniques on their Wonder Woman animated movie. And the way they went back in time was very fascinating, but it was kind of rushed. I wish they would have explained that a little bit more. I wish Batman was in it more. Like, he gets taken out very early in this episode. And, but hey, this was a time when I was really loving myself some Batman, but now I'm just kind of like, they overuse him too much and everything. But anyway, this episode, it starts off with the Justice League. They're in the Javelin, they're in space, and Green Lantern is towing them because something happened. And Flash is all like, well, at least we won the battle. And I'm like, what battle? I want to see a battle. It's like, where are y'all at? And it's never been explained. And so, like, as his power is almost on empty. So he contacts Batman at the Watchtower. And Batman's just like, ugh, I was enjoying the peace and quiet. You know how grumpy he is. So then all of a sudden a distortion wave hits. And the Watchtower is completely gone. They can't contact Batman. They go down to Earth. And everything is turned upside down. The Nazis have taken over. And there are Nazi symbols everywhere. Now, it's a modified Nazi symbol, but it's still the Nazi symbol. And so they see Vandal Savage picture everywhere, and they don't know who this man is and stuff, And so then some guards come, and the guards take out Superman real fast with the laser gun. So the Justice League take care of them, and then all of a sudden Batman comes, not dressed the way he normally is. He's wearing armor. And he takes him down like on a train in his modified Batcave, which is just an underground bunker type thing. And he's a subway station, actually, that's what it is. And he's down there with tons of teenagers and kids. You know him and his sidekicks. And it's cool. We get a cameo from Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon, the way they was drawn in the new animated series. And we also get Tim Drake, the way he was drawn. And for the first time ever in animation, we get Cassandra Cain. I was like, whoa, dude. I wasn't expecting her to show up. And so, like, at some point, I guess she did exist in the DC AU and everything, but just never appeared to now into an alternate, like, universe. So first, he's not trusting them, and he has guns. They all got guns. And, Batman doesn't do that. So they're talking and everything. He wants them to join the resistance. They want to know what the world happened. And basically, he tells them we lost the war and everything. And so they ask, has there been any type of magnetic disturbances? And he takes them to like a warehouse science lab. Martian Manhunter sneaks in, but here comes Hawk Girl just busting through the door with everybody else. And so basically what happened was this. Vandal Savage found some antimatter, created a black hole, and was able to time travel through it. So they're all like, if they do that, go back in time and reverse what happened, and hopefully everything be normal. Bruce thinks if they succeed, then his family will be alive, because in this version, his family died because he spoke out against the Nazis and stuff, and they murdered his parents. And so he doesn't go with them because he's all like, if it doesn't work, he has to continue fighting here. So they go back in time and boom, it's wartime. And it's old school everything. And so like they see, I forget what they call these things. I think they call war wheels or something like that. It's like a giant wheel with like cannons on it. And they know that technology wasn't around back then. So they try to take it out. Well, of course, guess who gets taken out first? Superman. He's like, ah! And so the rest of Justice League, they take care of it. And then they're fighting a couple of soldiers, Nazi soldiers and stuff. And so, like, they're trying to figure out, what's going on or what they should do first. And so this was so weird. It's somehow Hawk Girl, Martian Manhunter, and Wonder Woman know all about World War II. I'm like, how? Hawk Girl is an alien. John's an alien. The Martian Manhunter, he ain't been on Earth for that long. Wonder Woman's been on Themyscira. So it's like, how do they know? Unless they must have studied it for some bizarre reason when they joined the Justice League. I don't know. But anyway, they decided they need to go to Berlin. But but they all can't go because they have to stay here and fight. So Martian Manhunter said he's gonna go. Well, Wonder Woman's all like, I can't let you go behind enemy lines by yourself. So she goes with him and everything. And, so the rest of the team, they're fighting like the Nazis and everything. Well, John's ring goes completely dead because he hasn't been able to recharge it yet. So he's trying his best to get some soldiers out and everything, and he gives one of them the hot girl. She already has like two on like her shoulders and arms and stuff, and so she can't take him either. So she can only take three people. So he tells her just to go and everything, right? And so when she gets back to the camp and everything, she has to tell, the Flash and everything, she had to leave John behind and his ring went dead. He's furious at Hawk Girl. He's all like, don't you care about him? Like, why did you leave him behind? Blah, blah, blah. So then he just takes off running looking for John, but John got like ambushed by a couple of like Nazis and he falls into like a mud hole and stuff. So Flash is looking for him, can't find him, and then that's when John rises up and everything. But then he's rescued by a couple of soldiers, the ones from those comic books. I can't remember what their names were. Well, all of them like him because they saw him fight, except for one. One's being a butthead. And I assumed the one that was being a butthead, I'm like, okay, this is World War II. John's black. This dude is not. So it's probably that. But no, he just doesn't like him because he just doesn't like him for some bizarre reason. And so when Hawk Girl gets back, Flash is still like chewing into her and she's all like, I want to show you something. And then so like she shows him the wounded people and he's like, yeah, so what? And she's like, look again, fool, and everything. Cause like she's all like, that's why she left John, because she had to save these people and stuff. And so he gets it now, but he's still like upset. So John is gonna join the military dudes and help fight with them, and he's gonna wear like a uniform and everything like that. Don't know why he changed, but like whatever. And so it's weird when his ring went dead. Isn't his costume supposed to come off him? I don't know. Anyway, so over in Berlin, John and Diana, they're fighting some like more war wheel things, and then they get separated. He's gonna go into the big building and find who's ever responsible, or Vandal Savage. They think he went back in time and stuff. And so he's there infiltrating that, and she's off fighting some bad guys, and then she meets Steve Trevor. And we finally get to see him in this series. We never saw him before. See, Bruce Timm said that he just wanted to focus on the Justice League and not their side characters from their individual comics and stuff and cartoon series. And that was a smart thing to do. The only person who appeared is Snapper Carr, because he used to help out the Justice League a lot. And so Patrick Duffy, he voices this dude. He does a great job. This one's more like a spy and everything. And so those two start to bond. He's doing his flirting thing, and she's helping him on the mission. So she basically abandoned the Martian Manhunter. And so he's waiting for his contact and everything, because there's a communication device that they stole, and only his contact can use it. So they get like ambushed again, and so like they have to hightail it on out of there. And so let's get to John, the Martian Manhunter John. Funny how they both named John. So anyway, he's sneaking about and he sees Hitler on ice, like literally frozen. And then he goes into another room and he finds a laptop, and he's shocked. And then in comes Vandal Savage and electrocutes him. So they talk and everything, and it turns out that Vandal Savage did not go into the past to take over World War II. He sent a message through the laptop. He threw the laptop through the vortex. And so the scientists figured out how to use it. He saw the video message, and it had a bunch of documents on how to create like all kind of modern stuff, because Martian Manhunter found transistors and stuff like that. And of course that wasn't made until after the war. So yeah, he sent the laptop, told himself like, this is the best time to take over the world, and told him how to do it and like how to build all this like crazy stuff in the future. And so, like, with Diana and Steve, they find a contact who's in a prison like cell, and then it turns out he's German, and she's shocked because he's all like, we aren't all like that, and that is the honest to God truth. That's the one thing a lot of people forget about during World War II. Not all the German people was for the war, and a lot of them fought secretly to help end the war and stuff. And so before he can even use the device, here comes more of like the soldiers. And so she saves both of them in a weird kind of way. She wraps them up in a bed mattress and then she gets on top of them. When the wall falls down on top of her, it provides some cover until a war wheel smashes on top of them. How they survived? Hey, I don't know. It's cartoons. And so after that, he decoded a message, and it turns out that the Nazis are gonna invade America, which is something they did not do in like the war and stuff. And so John, he's about to be tortured for more information, and he is, and we hear him scream. But he uses his shape-shifting abilities to get out of there, and then he destroys the laptop, and he meets up with Diana and the rest of them. And so when the other team, what's the name, Flash, Superman, and Hawk Girl, they find out that the Nazis are building jet engines and stuff, and so they're all like, that technology's not supposed to be in this time. And that's when John shows up, and he's all like, and he explains, everything he learned and stuff. So they have to head out and stop like the fleet of ships from invading America. And so Flash, he goes to warn the Americans. So we don't see him no more. And so it's a huge battle in the Black Hawks. I remember that. I told you already. They showed up and stuff like that, and so they're helping out. So it's like a huge battle in the air. They're taking out as many jets as they can. Superman's all like, "All right, time to throw these gloves off," and he just starts lasering like jet engines left and right. But we don't see nobody getting parachuted out. But of course, a jet engine takes him out twice. The weapons on there. Lord have mercy, I swear. So then Wonder Woman shows up, and she helps out. So John is with the military dudes, and one of them's pissed at him because he was supposed to have that back, and one of the dudes got sniped. And so they're looking for the runway, and then they find it, and he hops on board the jet engine, the jet that has Vandal Savage on it, right? And I like John. Like, even though he's so grumpy, even without his powers, he is still gonna fight that good fight. And he will take on the bad guys, you know what I'm saying, with no weapons or powers whatsoever. And so him and Vandal Savage, they like duke it out. And of course he's getting electrocuted. I assume when Vandal kept electrocuting him, I assume it would recharge his ring, but it doesn't. And so at some point in time, he destroys everything in like that, the engine. So it slows down, which slows down the fleet. And so it giving the Justice League enough time, but he doesn't know they're out there. So John, the Martian Manhunter, can sense the other John, and he tells Hawk Girl. And so she races to like free him and everything. And as like she saves him, they clench hands in a romantic kind of way, which is kind of like the starting point of their relationship. And so now with Vandal Savage drowning and everything, you know, the German people, like, they turn back. And so instead of Justice League going after them, the Black Hawks are getting them. So now they're ready to go back into like the future and everything. But here's the problem. They don't explain how they're gonna get back to the future. Where's the device that sends them back? That's the part that's never really explained. And I don't even know if they destroy all the future tech. I hope they did, but hey, who knows, you know? And so they go back into the future, and the old-fashioned Batman's there, the normal one. And he's shocked and surprised, doesn't know why Superman's hugging him and everything. And so they explain it to him. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, is looking very, very sad. And we see her go to a veterans hospital, and she sees there an old Steve Trevor, and he's happy to see her. And that's the last we ever see of him. He never showed back up in the series. And it's quite a shame because wonder, did she keep like hanging out with him? Did she date him? He's old and everything, and she's kind of old too, but she's like, immortal almost. And so I always wondered about that, but it's never been explained. And then, like I said before, this was a really good episode. When you watch it, my God, it's very visual. It's very visual and stuff. And it's not exactly how like the war was back then, but it's close enough for like kid standards. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.